how's it going? It's That Nerd Ryan here, and today we're going to talk about a great movie 40 years later. So I actually recorded, I went and saw Return of the Jedi in theaters today for its 40th anniversary, and I figured what not better to do than talk about the movie and reissue my opinion. Because let's be honest, the original movie reviews that I did are not as good. If this video gets more likes and more views, then maybe I'll do the other Star Wars movies again. But yeah, I just figured with a rewatch and with the 40th anniversary underway, why not talk about Return of the Jedi? So, movie's 40 years old. I'm going to give a synopsis of it. There's no spoilers, obviously. Then we're going to talk about little things that I caught in this rewatch and stuff. One of them's really dark. And then just other stuff that I think about the movie altogether. I do feel like I need to re-rank the Star Wars movies, though, because my opinion has changed. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the movie. So this picks up a year after Empire Strikes Back. We also have knowledge now from canon comics about what happened in that year. Mainly Crimson Dawn resurging and trying to destroy the Empire and the Sith. We do get to see how the Death Star 2 was discovered, which does change the story for or a line in the movie. I did even look at my friend and went, hey, this line doesn't mean anything anymore, which could be retroactively changed. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so anyways, Luke and company are trying to rescue Han. We also know that there's now a second Death Star. Vader lands on it. That's the actual opening scene. And then we go to Tatooine at Jabba's palace, where C-3PO and R2-D2 walk in and get sold as gifts to Jabba the Hutt. Lando has already infiltrated Jabba's palace. Then we have a bounty hunter named Bosch bring in Chewbacca. Bosch is obviously Leia, who infiltrates that and frees Han from carbonite, but then she gets captured and so does Han. Luke then comes in and tries to save the day, ends up fighting a Rancor, and then gets all of them taken to a Sarlacc pit. This is probably one of my top 10 favorite scenes in Star Wars, is the Sarlacc pit scene. Just the tension, the music, everything like that, building up to the fight. Favorite part in the entire movie. But yeah, so Luke and company defeat Jabba, blow up the sail barge. Boba Fett gets thrown in the Sarlacc pit, but does not die due to Book of Boba Fett. And they then go their separate ways for a little bit. Han and Leia and Chewie and Lando go towards the rebellion. Luke and R2 go to Dagobah, where we meet Yoda for the last time. Yoda then informs him that Vader is in fact Luke's father and that Luke is not the only Skywalker. Then dies. Then Luke talks to Obi-Wan's ghost, who explains that Leia is his sister and that Luke has to kill Vader. Luke then goes and joins the Rebel fleet, who is now informed of the Death Star 2 and are ready to attack. So they go to Endor. Han and company go to Endor with some backup rebels, including Captain Rex. And the rest of the rebellion is ready to do basically a space battle once the shield is down. So there's a line in there where they said that many Bothans died bringing information of the Death Star 2. Obviously now we know that Crimson Dawn did that for the rebellion, and they were human. The two people were human, they weren't Bothans. However, they can basically say that the Bothans informed about the shield generator and the Emperor coming to the Death Star. So yeah, that could change. Or that can still fit, but yeah. We also get introduced to General Nadine, who has the backstory of being a ex-Imperial. I went on a 20-minute rant the other day about how that is the stupidest thing, that they gave the ex-Imperial the rank of General, meaning that he is there for permanent top secret information. So if, not that he was, but if he was an Imperial leak, it's the easiest thing to do. So yeah, that is very dumb of the Rebellion to give him the rank of General. I don't know if that's canon anymore, it was Legends. But yeah, the fact that, like, yeah, let's give a Imperial the rank of General. Not a good idea. But yeah, anyway, so they get to Endor and try to infiltrate the shield generator, try to, scout out the shield generator and everything. In this, we get a very cool speeder bike chase with Luke, Leia, and some scout troopers. Also, Han saying one of my most quoted Star Wars lines of, "Hey, it's me." I say that all the time at work. But, so then Leia and Luke get separated. Leia meets the Ewoks, and Luke joins back with the crew. As the crew's looking for Leia, they get trapped by the Ewoks, who believe that 3PO is a golden god, and that the rest of the crew needs to be eaten as a celebration. So after Leia kind of intervenes and Luke uses the Force to make 3PO look like a golden god, the Ewoks let them free and then decide to help in battling the Empire. Once that happens, we basically get into the Battle of Endor, starting with them trying to work on the shield generator, getting down and then getting kicked out and basically arrested, then the Ewoks coming in to save the day, and then them blowing up the shield generator. At this time, too, Luke is with Vader, I forgot to mention that, where they confront the Emperor. Vader and Luke are fighting on the Death Star as the battle in space and battle on Endor are commencing. Luke and Vader fight, and Luke gets a little tempted by the dark side, cuts off Vader's hand, and realizes that he went too far, throws his lightsaber down, and starts getting electrocuted by Palpatine, where Vader throws him into the shaft, killing him to Rise of Skywalker. And now let's talk about the space battle. So, turns out that the Emperor knew that the rebels were attacking, so the shield wasn't down when they got there, and it also had an operational laser that was blowing up ships. But once the shield goes down, Lando and Wedge fly in, blow up the Death Star. And they all lived happily ever after for about 30-ish years, if you count Mandalorian, 7. If you count Aftermath, 1 year. Because technically, Battle of Endor is a major victory, but it's not the final battle. It's the Battle of Jakku. But yeah, so Disney kind of ruined this movie. This is a really good Star Wars movie. I really enjoy it. I do like the books and the new books and new canon and stuff, but the finality of Episode 6 is ruined by what Disney has done with Star Wars. Palpatine didn't die. Battle of Endor was not the final battle. Whatever happens in Princess and the Scoundrel, since that's the next book I'll be reading, all that kind of just lays waste to what this movie meant. So just really quick, I do want to point out 3 things that I noticed in this watch. One being that when Leia frees Han, if you look, there's a guard holding 3PO's mouth like that to get him to not talk, which doesn't make sense because he's a droid. And then another one was when Luke and Vader are fighting. Luke is on the top of the stairs and Vader's on the bottom, and at that point Vader says, "Obi-Wan has taught you well," thus high ground. And then the third one is when Vader is dying and talking to Luke. You hear regular blaster fire in the background. Somebody kind of pointed that out in like a Facebook post or something. There's no rebels on the Death Star. So what that is Imperials realizing that they're losing or that the Emperor's dead, so they are ending their own lives, which is really dark. But yeah. People also say that this is the Star Wars movie that started getting more kidified. I argue that Star Wars has always been kidified and about the toys, considering that George Lucas made most of his money off of the toys. But I still think it's a very good Star Wars movie. It's my third favorite for sure. I enjoy it a lot. And 40 years later, I think it still holds well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan, signing off.